Welcome everyone to the next project. This is yet another 3D print tool project. We are again revisiting the grip, which is a polish sanding grip for working on frets that are installed in the guitar or bass neck. This tool has gone through quite an evolution. I released the first version, which was, I believe it was version 17. It's been going through revisions and testing and a lot of use since then. A lot of people have downloaded it. I've got some very good feedback from the people that have been using it. I appreciate that. This is a group of files that I'm going to be sharing with you yet again. This is version 19. I'm going to share a medium wide and extra wide housing version, which is the big bulky part we see getting printed there. There is also a reel or a spool, which is the tall narrow piece, and a thumb knob. I'll be sharing these as STL and STEP files, and I've decided to also share the code, the slicer code for this. You don't have to use that. You can create your own to fit whatever filament you may be using, but just so people who are new to this have a place to start, it will be in there. Assembly is really pretty easy, just 3 pieces. And I do add a little bit of super glue to the thumb knob in close to the center part where it keys into the spool. So put a little super glue on there, slide the spool through the housing, and then put the thumb knob, fit it into the keyed part of the end of the spool, and press it or squeeze it tightly together. You want the housing to be kind of stiff and snug on the spool assembly. That's it. Pretty easy. Okay, so we're using some sanding pack paper, which is 9 inches by 11 inches, and divided that up using the metric system. I'm getting 5 slices that will work with this sanding grip, 56 millimeters wide each. And in this case, so it's 56 millimeters wide, which is like 2.2 inches roughly, by 9 inches long. I roll it up with the grit facing in so the backing paper is out. And I fold a little tab about a 1/2 inch wide at one end of the roll that I've just made. So the process is here, we take that little folded tab and slide it into the reel or spool, whichever you want to call it. Unroll part of the remainder of the rolled up piece of sandpaper and tuck it into the feed part, the top hole in the housing there. And make sure the tab is tucked in nice into the slit in the spool there. And then you use the thumb knob to advance the paper onto the collection reel. That's about the magic of it. You are ready to sand or polish sand some frets. Now, pay attention to which way you need to roll it because you can unroll that tab right out of there. So you figure out how to twist it to pull the paper from the top supply roll down around the bottom sanding area and onto the collection reel. And when you're done with all your sanding, you just pull the paper out and reload and use your next grit. Another idea I would like to share, if you've been using this and you have a little bit of trouble keeping the paper stuck in the reel, the little folded tab, try to fold the tab over to create kind of a V double fold at the very end of the tab before you slide it into the reel. This may give especially lighter grit sandpapers a little more grip within the grip. Happy sanding. This is another version of 19. This has a different thumb hole. You see that has the oval holes where my thumb is right there. This is an older version. The new version has a diamond shape there, and that is to make printing easier. You will no longer need any support for the housing when you do printing. The only place I use support is on the thumb knob, the little part that you use to grab on and twist the spool. I use a little bit of support at the very base of that because it does have an overhang. And as you do some printing, you'll understand what that is. And here we go. We've pulled a piece out. This was 1200 grit, and I'd already gone over the whole board with some 800 grit before that. So some people have printed multiple copies of this, and they load each one up with a different grit paper so they can just sand down the board, then grab the next one, sand down the board, and they do kind of reductive or refining polishing that way. And you could potentially call this a day. This is 1200 grit, and it's pretty nice. Or you could go to 1500, 2000 grit paper and call it a day. Or you can polish it afterwards. Here we're taking a really quick look at just a few of the prototype pieces that I've printed over the last 5 or 6 months. Going way back, I think there might be a version 1 in there somewhere, if I still have it. Otherwise, it's maybe version 2 or 3. I'm not sure anymore. And I'd like to thank everybody who helped push me along with this project too. So thank you very much. And anyway, the files will be listed in a link in the description. Happy printing. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Give it a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know you like this kind of stuff. Ring the bell for future notifications. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you have printed one of these out before, please leave comments. Let people know what you like about it, maybe even what you don't like about it. I need that kind of feedback as well. There is always a version 20 lurking out there somewhere, right? Until next time, take care of yourself and those around you. Bye.